How's it going, guys? Today is week 1 of my updates for my tank. So I'm doing an update, going to test the water levels. Just going to give an update on what it looks like, what's living in it, how those things are doing. So here is a view of the tank. So right now I have, those are dead rock that's in there, and then I have 2 damsels that are helping me with my cycling of the tank. As you'll see, some diatomaceous algae is coming up, which isn't a bad thing. It's normal and typical for diatomaceous algae to be growing in the tank. I also want to show you my filtration that I have. So what comes stock with this is bio balls and things like that. So right here I have just a water heater, and then I also have, like, that's what that is the water heater. And then I also have this Coralife thermometer. So it tells you, it has a connection on the inside of the tank, and that's, the thermometer read, and it reads digitally on that input there. So I have that. And then, so that white pad there is a poly filter, and it helps, as discussed on here, it removes harmful organics, toxic ammonia, heavy metals, all forms of phosphates, and medication after treatments. So that is what is first. But then at the bottom below that, hope you can see it, there are two pieces, if you will, of this foam that I'm using, that black foam there. And so that is my filtration. This white bag there, it is it's the matrix carbon. So I put that into a carbon, or into a bag that's used for filtration and things like that. So that's what that is. And then it flows over here into my, this is the whole refugium back there. And then it flows here, and then the pump takes it from here and it brings it back into the aquarium. So that's kind of a high level of what my setup is like. Nothing too expensive here. I probably spent, with all of the just filtration and chemicals I needed for the filtration, looked at about $100 I think. And then that excludes like the rock and sand and things like that. I haven't made any lighting upgrades at this point, but depending on what I end up adding, I may eventually do that, but it's not something that's time sensitive right now. So I'm getting ready to do some water tests, and I will let you know how those water tests came out. All right, so this is where my salinity is coming in at. Just over 1.02 or 1.026 is where my salinity is coming in at. So I'm kind of on the higher end of it. I should be within those orange looking numbers. I don't know if you could see it well, but I should be between 1.02 and 1.020 and 1.026. And I'm like at the higher end at the 1.026. Alright guys, so here are all of the tests that I'm going to do. So I'm going to test the ammonia, the nitrate, the nitrite, the pH level, and then the phosphate. I am using pretty much a standard, which is the API Saltwater Master Test. So I'm using the Saltwater Master Test, I'm using a combination of the Saltwater Master Test with the Reef Master Test. So there's some things that the Saltwater Master Test has that the Reef Master Test doesn't, and vice versa. So that's why I bought both tests. Really, from at the moment, all of these things are in the Saltwater Master Test except the phosphates. The phosphates here are in the Master Reef Test. But here are the other components. of the Master Reef test. Some of it is, you know, double. You know, they both test nitrate, and then, you know, the Reef, right, it tests also calcium. And there's the other calcium. It takes 2 bottles. And then it also tests your KH, which is your carbonate hardness. So getting ready to do the test, and I will let you know how my results came up. And I use a syringe like this to extract the water from the tank. So this is a pretty cool way to do it. I found this at my local fish store, and you know, it'll help. Instead of, you know, what you shouldn't do, you shouldn't dip the actual bottles into the water to, you know, get to a certain level. So I just use this syringe to extract the water from it, and then I use this to fill the actual glass container. So I will do that now. Alright, so all of my tests are done. My water is okay. I'm still in the cycling process. So what I would like to see when I'm done with cycling is that these levels will go up and these levels will go down. So when that happens, that's when I'll know that my cycling process is done. So I will just continue to let the tank run, let it do its thing, and you know, it's kind of something with saltwater. It does, you know, take some time. It's not a process that you can rush. So I'm doing that now, and you know, so this is my first week update. I will let you know. I'll do another update with the same thing, water changes, what the tank looks like, how the algae is, all that good stuff. So we're moving in the right direction. We're not there yet, but we're just gonna watch it closely and see how it goes. I'll give you one more glimpse of the tank.